What up, Auburn fans, and welcome in to week one of the college football season. I'm your guy, Blake Lane, in Auburn Primetime Live. I wanted to hop on here for a little late night edition. I apologize. This was supposed to be a recorded episode that was going to drop in the morning, but I did not get off work until 7:05 tonight, and I had to come home, and my daughter's sick, and had to spend some time with the wife and Levi and all those things. So I said, hey, why not a little late night live? And, Hugh Freeze took to the presser today. He took to the podium and he talked to the media. And I really liked what he had to say. I thought he was very confident at the mic. I liked his demeanor at the mic. I liked the way he carried himself. And you know me, I have been one of Hugh's toughest critics about the way he handles himself at the microphone. And a lot of people might say that it doesn't mean a whole lot, but to me, it does sometimes. And I really like seeing him smile. I think those are a couple of things: head up, smile on the face. I think those are a couple things that you haven't seen since he's been at Auburn, and I feel like it's a little stress free so far. And so I'm feeling confident in Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers. And the more and more people talk, the more and more talking heads that start predicting this game, they really feel like the Auburn Tigers are going to win this football game. And I mean, that gets me excited, man. A week one victory on the road against a team that's predicted to win the Big 12 by a lot of people and could probably go to the college football playoffs. And they got a lot of high praise. So going out there to Waco, Texas, and getting a dub, I think that would speak volumes to the direction of this program and where it's headed. So the first thing Hugh Freeze was asked about was, I think it was Caldwell, about all the downtime in the summer, and you're playing on a Friday night, and do you get a little anxious? There's a lot of time to prepare. Do you over prepare, or what are some things that you do? And he just basically said, like, hey, there's no scrimmage at the end of this week. There's no mock game. You don't want to go in and overanalyze things, and you just want to do your proper preparation, and you want to do it like every other week, week in and week out. He said, now it is different. You're playing on a Friday night, right? So he said, when I go in and I watch tape, there's some things that I see and I'm like, oh, I want to implement that. But then he's like, can I coach my players in time the proper way for them to execute Friday night in Waco, Texas? So he was like, I don't want to overanalyze things. I don't want to jump on certain things and, take it overboard. I think we have the players. I think we have the guys to execute. I think we have the coaching staff to get it done. And he was like, so I don't want to get too anxious and try to overthink it. I just want to go play and go coach. So I liked you saying that right there. He highlighted Baylor's offense and defense, and he had high praise for Dave Aranda. He talked about how great of a defensive coordinator he is, and him making those calls for Baylor this year and taking over at Baylor last season. And so, he just basically highlighted the athleticism that the offense has. We know the running back, the quarterback, the receivers, the big tight end, the Trigg kid. He said that they're really, really good. They average 41 points a game, their last 7 games, I think he said. So, they went on a 6-game winning streak, and he's not taking this offense lightly. You could tell by the words in his press conference, he is not taking this offense lightly. And Baylor's going to score. They're going to score. They're good. They're a well-oiled machine. Spavital, I think, is a really, really bright offensive mind. And so I think he's got DJ Durkin locked in, and I think they're really, really focused on this Baylor offense. And then he highlighted some guys on the Baylor defense, gave a couple of guys some SEC player type praises, right? He said that their linebacker is a really, really dominant force, and he could play in the Southeastern Conference. And he said, I'm not taking these dudes lightly. He said, if you look at their depth chart, they could possibly bring 6. A lot of people say 5. When we did the Athlon episode, it said 5 returning starters. But he said, if you look at it in a weird way, they could possibly bring back 6 returning starters. And so he highlighted some of those guys and highlighted a couple of transfer portal pickups. And, they didn't go crazy in the transfer portal, but they added quality pieces. And I think that's what Hugh was trying to say there. So really liked him highlighting who we need to look out for Baylor Friday night. And then he was asked about the Friday night matchup at 7 o'clock and how they prepared in fall camp for it. And he said, well, we took fall camp, and that's the reason we had our scrimmages and things on Fridays, is because we wanted to set the mind as today being a Tuesday instead of it being a Monday. And so he said we really tried to prepare for those things and get our schedule on a Friday night and get our schedule right and be prepared where we wouldn't be lazy and sluggish to go out there on a Friday night and play. So I really like that and the way they handled that as a coaching staff. And then he was asked about, what do you know, the progression of Jackson Arnold. How is Jackson Arnold coming along? What is he doing in practice, Coach? And Hugh Freeze basically said, hey, Jackson is getting better and better each and every day. I really like some of the things that he's doing, decision-making. He did highlight that he wishes he would hang in the pocket a little bit longer. He said, but I do understand that Jackson is an athlete and he wants to get out of the pocket and go make a play with his legs. But he does wish that he would just hang in there a little bit longer. But he said he is getting the ball out. Decision-making is crisp. He's making the right reads. He's making crisp throws, all that good stuff, man. So, look, I think that's what it boils down to. That's the pressure cooker for Auburn, and that's what everybody is going to have their eyes on is Jackson Arnold Friday night. Because you know what Auburn has. You know what that defense has. But it simply comes down, can Auburn find great quarterback play? And if they can't, it's going to continue to be what it has been for the Auburn Tigers. It's going to continue to be a struggle bus. But if they can find Jackson Arnold and he can just drive the car and not take it off the cliff, the Auburn Tigers can be really, really good. So he was then asked about Derek Nix and Kent Austin being up in the box. You said, I chose them to go up in the box. They get to talk to me from that view. It's a calmer mindset up there. You're not having to deal with the ruckus crowd and, the environment and everything. You get up there, the iPad development and things like that you get to use up there. They get to look multiple possessions ahead, get a game plan for what they want to do. And he's like, so that's why I make that decision for them to go up there, have a clear head space, not be down on the field. You get the overview of the defense and everything and what you want to run and what do you think might work for the next couple possessions. And then he highlighted DJ Durkin's going to pick whoever he wants and so forth. So those guys seem to be on the same page. Then he was asked about health. All right. Eric Singleton Jr., we heard about the thigh bruise. They say he's close to 100%. They don't want to test it. They don't want to make anything, any type of freaky accident before Friday night. So Eric Singleton will be a go for the Auburn Tigers. And prayers up to Alex McPherson, man. This is something that, people are saying that he's going to battle for the rest of his life. And at this point, it's not about football, right? And it hasn't been since he's been dealing with this. And if he can't go, you gotta pray for the kid and his family. And I feel really, really terrible for him. I do, because he wants to be out there with his brothers. He missed last season, and he worked so dang hard to make it back this year. And you've seen the TikTok videos and the IG videos and of him practicing and kicking field goals and things like that. And you get a week before the game and you hear that Alex is dealing with some more health issues. And I hate it, man. I really do. I really, really do. That He has got to go through this, and it sucks, man. It sucks. And, Hugh addressed who they might go to afterwards. He said he feels like Towns will get the nod. I just need to see Towns do it in a hostile environment. I need to see you show up. You were a highly, highly rated kicker coming out of high school. You decided to stay home. You've got the talent. Go get it done, man. You can't have the yips like last season. You can't. You're kicking on the big stage. You got to go knock them down. Then he was asked about the O-line. Has it shown improvement? He said yes. He said, I really feel like the offensive line needs to play somebody other than themselves. And he said, I really hope that in some of the drills where we're getting beat, it's just that we have elite pass rushers. Now, Auburn has been getting a lot of praise in that department, right? Obviously, Keldrick Faulk getting the blunt of that. But, you got Kieron Crawford and guys like that are really trying to get off and make a name. And I feel like he could have a big season. And so, Hugh just said we got guys on the O-line, and we could be really deep in that department, but we need to play somebody besides ourselves to really, really see where we're at. Then he talked about the defensive depth chart and all the oars, right? And he said, look, we got all the oars on there because I feel like everybody is available. He said, I feel like DJ Durkin will play every single guy on that list. And he said they're all available to play. You keep hearing about Bryce Diaz, and you keep hearing about Elijah Melendez and New Boy Fagans and Jared Smith. And you keep hearing about all these freshmen. He said they're not freshmen anymore. He said they're all available to play. And Jordan Crawford and Malik Autry and all these cats, they're available. They can all get out on the field and play. So I'm really excited to see this defense. I think they're going to pin their ears back, and I think they're going to try to go get Sawyer Robertson and make life tough on him. So, and then, man, Horatio Fields, the high praise for Horatio Fields continues. Hugh Freeze was asked about him coming into that locker room, and he said that they voted on team captains, and he received a whole hell of a lot of votes. And that speaks volumes for me for a guy coming in from Wake Forest, and you're coming into a crowded room. You come in to compete, and you're making a name for yourself amongst those guys. Some of the younger guys are looking up to you, and some of the older guys are looking at you and saying, hey, you're a freaking leader, man. And so that speaks volumes to me for Horatio. If he goes in and makes plays, that even boosts it up even more for me. And I think he's a guy that we're going to need. We're going to need. We can't have the misses in the wide receiver department. It's been hit or miss in that portal for Auburn. The first couple, the first cycle when you bring Hooks, you bring him in, and the other kid, they were misses. And so you got to get Robert Lewis. He was a miss, in my opinion, last year. Didn't have a great season. I expected a whole hell of a lot more, to be honest with you. So Horatio Fields coming in, Eric Singleton Jr., I feel way better about those two than I did about the previous ones. So, I really liked it from Hugh Freeze. I did. He was smiling. He looked confident as ever. I thought it was positive vibes. So let's get over here to this comment section. Y2K, I see you, brother. I see you, man. Miss Karen says 4 days. 4 days, y'all. That's it. We're almost to 3 now, baby. War Eagle fam, it's game week, Miss Devin says. Miss Karen says again, War Damn fam. Miss Devin says, appreciate your dedication, Blake. Thank you for bringing us great content. Hope your daughter gets better soon. Thank you, Miss Devin. I appreciate it. Just a little cold, it seems like, going around the school. So, sick 'em Bears, Y2K says, man, what is up, brother? Glad to have you in here, man. Good luck to your Baylor Bears, and it's gonna be pretty fun out there in Waco, Texas. So, talking is almost over with. You're right, man. We're almost here, week 1. I'm excited but nervous at the same time. Yeah, I get butterflies. I'm not going to lie to you. I do get butterflies. I just want to win. I want Auburn to get back to being Auburn. I think it's going to be a good game. I do too, Y2K. I think it's going to be a real good game. I do. War Damn Eagle, y'all. Auburn Dad. What's up, my man? 4 more days too. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. It's me and my group will start partying Thursday. Okay, bringing it in. Honing it in for Friday night. Praying for Alex for sure. Oh no, Auburn, hoping we win big Friday. Let's hope, man. Just hope Perry gets good reps this game. I believe wide receiver will go 6 deep. Blake, they probably will, man. They probably will. They got the athletes to do it. Ready for Friday. All in good spirit. But yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, I'm glad you were in here and having a good time, man. I welcome all fan bases in here. One thing I can say is Baylor is going to be ready. They're at home. They're going to be comfortable. And we've seen teams go in there and struggle. And that's what kind of scares me the most is I think Auburn has the better roster. I think Auburn has more athleticism. But I've also watched Max Duggan and the TCU Horned Frogs be undefeated and go in there and should have lost that game, but and have to rush out and kick a game-winning field goal as time expires. So it is a tough environment. I know a lot of Auburn fans, they want to downplay, the 45,000 people and all that stuff. And they said, well, Auburn's already bought 15,000 tickets and there's still seats available and all this stuff. Look, it's going to be hostile. Baylor fans are going to bring it. They're going to be drunk. They're going to have fun. And it's going to be rowdy. Again, Bama, not welcome. Again, Bama, not welcome. It gets loud. Yeah. Look, the thing about small stadiums, I think it's about how they're designed. Everybody kept telling me that Autzen Stadium, it was small. It was small. Well, yeah, it's small, but when you go out there, it gets really, really loud. They only seat 60,000 people, but the way it's designed and it captures the noise and keeps it in the stadium, it gets really, really loud. So I do think Baylor is going to have some fans there, and they're going to be ready to go, and they're going to be lit, as the young people say today. So I do think it's going to be a fun environment. I do. I'll have to see it to believe it. Oh, man. Wait till next year. Jordan Hare. Oh, come on now. Jordan Hare getting deafening. It's getting deafening, Auburn Dad says. Yeah. Jordan Hare gets really, really loud. I've been to a lot of stadiums, and I can tell you that Jordan Hare is definitely up there. It is top notch. I've been to Death Valley. I've been to Autzen. Man, I've been to Rocky Top. I've been to Starkville. Been to Vaught Hemingway. I've been to a lot of them, man. I've been to a lot of them, and I bet that one is loud. I bet Lincoln is loud, and they're a wild fan base. Like, they get after it. Friday night blackout. I see you up there. Friday night blackout. Yeah, I think that is pretty cool. Y'all are trying to pull out all the stops. Y'all are trying to pull out all the stops, and I like it. I really do. Like, you're trying every little thing you can to get people pumped up. Auburn's coming to town, and you got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do. Late night, War Damn Eagle, game week. Let's go. What's up, Brad? Let's go, man. Game week, week one. Feels good. Another thing that Hugh Freeze said, we got to protect the football. And he said it wasn't on one person last year. It was on everybody, including coaches. He said, but as I watch week 0 games, what's the one thing that killed Kansas State? Turning the ball over. Muffed punt. Fumbles. It killed Kansas State. Avery Johnson, everybody's like, oh, he played a terrible game. He accounted for all 3 of their scores. And, I mean, he had 300 all-purpose yards running and throwing. So, I mean, Did he miss certain situations? Yes. Did he play his best game? No. Was it terrible? No. But you want to know what was terrible for Kansas State? They turned the ball over. All right. They turned the ball over, and that lost them the game. And I think that was the point that Hugh Freeze was making today. When he watched the week 0 games, Auburn cannot turn the ball over. We're undefeated in the chrome helmets. Who have y'all played in the chrome helmets? Ron Zook said AU is the loudest. Yeah, I mean, you can't really argue it. For me, it is Death Valley. LSU, deafening. LSU, when they start bowing and it's crazy. But Auburn is definitely up there. Jordan Hare is up there for sure. And on my list. They're up there. But tomorrow night, I'll go live again. Neyland is loud. Neyland is very loud, especially when they start doing the spooky Rocky Top and they slow it down and it's like a 3rd and long. It gets really, really loud. Now, they play Rocky Top way too much. Way too much. It gets kind of annoying. When they just continuously play it. But it's still a hostile environment. But, all right, look, tomorrow night I will go live. I'm jumping on Bryce Tillman's podcast at 6:30. And then right after I get off that, which it shouldn't be too long, so like 7:15, something like that, I'll probably hop on here and go live again, and we will break down the Auburn-Baylor game. I just wanted to get on here really quickly tonight, touch up on Hugh's press conference. I was impressed with it. I like what he had to say. I liked how he carried himself. The smiling, and it wasn't hat over the face, hat over the eyes, tucked down, hands in the face, and it just a mopey press conference. I thought he handled it very well, and he had some good things to say about our roster, and I'm pleased with it. So I'll be on here tomorrow night. We'll break down Auburn and Baylor. We'll probably give a score prediction because I don't know if I'm going to get back on here the rest of the week. Maybe going to try to do like a pregame thing Friday if I can get home in time. I'll keep y'all updated on that though. Just stay with me in the group chat and we'll figure it out. So let's see what Y2K's got to say here. I'm on here doing this for my uncle Y2K who passed, Baylor fan for real. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Rest in peace to him, and we appreciate you being a Baylor fan and being in here. And we don't look after the game, man. We don't want you to leave. We don't want you to go. You can always come back and visit and continue to tell us about how Baylor season's going. So we don't want to lose you, man. And I think it's pretty cool that you go out on YouTube and you find other people's channels and you get involved and you see other things, the only channels that I won't get involved with is Georgia and Alabama. So I do not go watch Georgia and Alabama content because it's just weird to me. So, but that's it for tonight. Like I said, we'll hop back on here tomorrow night. Just hang with me because I'm on with Bryce at 6:30. I'll let y'all know, update you in the game, in the group chat and all that good stuff. So thank y'all. War Damn Eagle. I'm out of here. Appreciate each and every one of you. And by the way, if you want to become a member, go check it out. Somebody deleted my graphic, so I can't pull it up. But go check it out. Memberships are available. Hop in there. Good stuff coming. The football season is about to start, and we're going to have a lot of membership episodes available. So appreciate y'all. War Damn, I'm out.